Across Earth's vast oceans, a hidden force is gathering beneath the approaching storm. Far below the clouds, immense winds are beginning to transfer their energy into the ocean. This ocean appeared peaceful, untouched, and almost impossibly calm. Beneath that calm surface, distant winds are already creating longer and stronger ocean swells. As the wind strengthens, each passing swell carries more energy across the immense ocean. The ocean is no longer simply moving, it is beginning to remember the storm. Every hour, the waves grow taller, faster, and increasingly difficult for anything to withstand. The blue sea has vanished, replaced by a restless landscape of water and wind. On the distant horizon, a lone cargo ship reveals just how enormous these waves have become. It has awakened the sea, and the largest waves are only beginning to rise. The ship enters a growing field of waves, each one rising higher than the last. A towering swell rises like a moving wall, forcing the vessel toward its enormous crest. From the ocean's surface, the wave appears less like water and more like a moving mountain. At its crest, powerful winds tear the water apart and scatter it across the storm. For a moment, the ship disappears between two enormous walls of water. But before the sea can settle, another immense wave rises directly beyond the ship. Crashes beside the vessel, releasing a violent surge of foam and spray. Waves begin arriving from different directions, transforming the sea into a chaotic battlefield. Behind the ship, an even larger swell gathers enough energy to become truly terrifying. Has crossed a threshold, and these waves are becoming monsters of the storm. Wave keeps rising, revealing how much power the storm has transferred into the sea. At the summit, the wave bends forward, preparing to release its immense stored energy. It finally collapses, unleashing a violent explosion of water across the surrounding sea. The danger does not end with one wave. The next is already coming. The next swell arrives faster, steeper, and far larger than anything the ship has faced. It climbs the wave slowly, surrounded by a wall of water and roaring wind. The ship seems suspended between the sky above and the ocean below. The ship disappears down the far side, entering a trough hidden between enormous waves. From the trough, the surrounding waves appear even larger, closing in from every direction. Behind it, another giant wave rises, larger than everything seen before. The wave towers higher, making the enormous cargo ship appear strangely small beneath it.
Below, the wave becomes a moving mountain, carrying enormous energy toward the vessel.
Crest, violent winds begin tearing the wave apart before it can collapse. The crest collapses with tremendous force, throwing a storm of water across the sea. The ocean briefly settles, but another immense swell is already gathering beyond the ship. The next swell rises rapidly, revealing a deeper and more dangerous rhythm beneath the storm.
The vessel climbs higher, its bow rising toward a crest that seems impossibly high. From the crest, The ship faces an endless landscape of enormous waves, stretching beyond sight.
Beyond the crest, the ocean drops sharply, revealing another towering wave waiting ahead. Now the ship is surrounded by giant waves, with nowhere on the horizon appearing safe. The ship sits deep between towering waves, surrounded by an ocean that seems almost endless. The waves form a moving landscape stretching far beyond the ship's visible horizon. A massive cross-swell approaches from the side, threatening to overturn the ocean's fragile balance. Swells converge around the vessel, creating a chaotic collision of moving water. Their collision erupts into a mountain of foam, briefly hiding the ship from view. As the mist clears, the vessel emerges again, climbing another enormous wall of water. The crest, violent spray sweeps across the vessel as the ocean drops away below. It plunges into another trough, while a larger wall of water rises ahead. Ahead, another colossal wave rises, its crest disappearing into the storm clouds above. It's the first time the wave's full scale becomes visible, dwarfing everything around it. The giant wave continues forward, carrying an immense amount of energy toward the waiting vessel. From the surface, the wave seems almost vertical, revealing the extraordinary scale of the storm. The cargo ship climbs higher, entering the most dangerous part of the enormous swell. The ship rises above the sea, surrounded by an endless field of monstrous waves. The descends into the trough, while another enormous wave waits directly beyond it. From the trough, every direction reveals another towering wall of water approaching. Another colossal swell approaches from the side, making the vessel appear almost insignificant. Breaks beside the vessel, engulfing the sea in a violent cloud of foam. Mist clears, the ocean reveals a landscape of waves stretching beyond anything the eye can measure. It has reached terrifying proportions, and the storm now controls everything around the ship. The storm reaches its peak, surrounding the vessel with waves that seem to have no end. From the deepest trough, the surrounding waves rise like cliffs above the tiny vessel. It climbs once more, entering a wave whose scale dwarfs everything around it. Crest, the ship appears suspended above an ocean transformed into countless moving mountains. Plunges downward, only to discover another enormous wall waiting directly ahead. The largest wave yet rises slowly, hiding the storm-darkened sky behind its crest. It's curling forward, carrying enough water to overwhelm the horizon itself. The crest finally breaks, releasing a deafening-looking explosion of foam across the ocean. Through the mist, the vessel survives, while the ocean continues its relentless assault.
This is only the beginning. Beyond this storm lies an ocean even more violent.
The storm reaches its peak, surrounding the vessel with waves that seem to have no end. The deepest trough, the surrounding waves rise like cliffs above the tiny vessel. The vessel climbs once more, entering a wave whose scale dwarfs everything around it.
The crest, The ship appears suspended above an ocean transformed into countless moving mountains.
Plunges downward, only to discover another enormous wall waiting directly ahead. The largest wave yet rises slowly, hiding the storm-darkened sky behind its crest. Curling forward, carrying enough water to overwhelm the horizon itself. The giant crest finally breaks, releasing a deafening roar of foam across the ocean. This is only the beginning. Beyond this storm lies an ocean even more violent. The storm has revealed its fury, but beneath these waves, an even greater force is moving. The storm has created enormous waves, but one of them is about to become something extraordinary. Below the surface, the storm's energy continues traveling through the ocean long after each wave passes. Giant swells. One unusual wave is beginning to rise higher than everything around it. What appears chaotic above becomes a powerful, organized movement beneath the surface. Marine life is caught within these currents, carried by energy generated far above them. Every passing swell transfers more energy into the ocean's upper layers. As these swells travel forward, their energy spreads outward across an enormous distance. The waves are no longer isolated. They are becoming part of enormous traveling wave trains. Open ocean, these wave trains carry the storm's energy farther than the eye can follow. Where separate waves meet, their combined energy can create something far more powerful. Instead, separate wave trains are beginning to unite, creating a much larger force within the storm.
Trains draw closer, carrying enormous amounts of energy toward a single meeting point.
These massive swells meet. Their combined motion creates a far more powerful moving wall. The swell grows taller, transforming several smaller movements into one immense ocean wave. The ship begins climbing, while another powerful swell joins the wave from behind. Energy arrives from behind, feeding the growing wave system with every passing swell. The trough, the crest seems impossibly high, towering far beyond the ship's highest point. Beneath the surface, the same energy continues moving through the ocean in powerful currents. Below the surface, enormous currents reveal how deeply the storm has disturbed the ocean. Rise toward the surface, where their energy becomes visible as increasingly powerful swells. Back above the surface, the wave trains have become longer, stronger, and more organized, building something enormous, and the ship is moving directly toward it. Instead, the separate swells are merging into a vast, moving system of extraordinary power. The swell rises higher, concentrating the storm's energy into one enormous moving wall. It's climbing, while the ocean behind it continues building another enormous swell. From the side, the wave stretches beyond the ship, revealing its enormous horizontal scale. From above, the waves move together like a vast mountain range crossing the ocean. Below the surface, the organized waves send powerful currents racing through the upper ocean. Even deep below, the ocean carries traces of the immense energy moving across its surface. Currents rise again, carrying the ocean's growing power toward the surface. Above the surface, Those hidden currents have helped shape a much larger and stronger wave field. The wave train now stretches ahead like an endless wall, and the ship is heading straight toward it. Waves are growing together, forming a system far larger than the individual swells. Each swell adds more energy, pushing the growing wave higher into the storm. Climbs higher, while another powerful swell continues pushing from behind. Extends far beyond the ship, revealing that its danger is measured in distance. From above, the separate waves resemble a vast moving landscape, slowly gathering into one. Beneath the waves, powerful currents reveal how much energy is moving through the ocean. Even below the surface, the ocean is being reshaped by forces created far above.
Currents rise again, carrying their accumulated energy toward the surface. Back above the surface, the wave trains have become longer, stronger, and increasingly organized.
The ocean is now building a single immense wave from countless smaller movements. The growing wave now rises above its neighbors, gathering energy from every passing swell. This dominant swell is becoming a moving mountain, its full height still hidden from view. Climbs higher, while the wave continues rising beyond the vessel's highest point. From the side, the wave stretches beyond sight, revealing the immense distance its energy can travel. From above, the wave system resembles a vast mountain range, moving relentlessly across the ocean.
Beneath this growing wave, powerful currents continue carrying energy through the upper ocean.
The deeper currents reveal that the wave's power extends far beneath its visible surface. Energy rises again, feeding the enormous wave from below and behind. The dominant wave has become impossible to ignore. Concentrated countless smaller swells into one enormous wall of moving energy. Continues growing, fed by distant swells arriving from across the storm. Each arriving swell adds another surge of energy, pushing the towering wave even higher. It climbs again, entering a section where the wave rises far beyond sight. The wave seems endless, stretching farther than the ship can travel. From above, countless waves are joining together, creating a single immense field of energy.
Below the surface, powerful currents continue transporting the storm's energy across the ocean. Far below the surface, the ocean still carries the signature of the storm above. Hidden currents rise toward the surface, feeding the wave with energy from below.
Above the surface, the accumulated energy has transformed the ocean into a moving mountain range. The ocean has become a vast reservoir of storm energy, and the largest waves are still coming. The largest swells are still approaching, carrying fresh energy toward the growing wall of water. An immense swell rises beside the ship, hiding the horizon behind its towering face. The vessel climbs again, entering a region where every movement of water becomes enormous. It now rides within a moving landscape, where every horizon is dominated by water. From above, the ocean resembles a vast mountain range moving relentlessly beneath the storm. Beneath this moving mountain range, powerful currents continue carrying energy across the ocean. Far below, the ocean still responds to forces generated by the storm miles above. Currents rise once more, delivering their accumulated energy toward the surface. The accumulated energy has transformed separate waves into one immense system. The ocean has become a single vast machine of energy, and its greatest wave approaches. The ocean has formed its largest wave yet, towering above everything surrounding the ship. The wave rises higher, revealing a scale that makes the cargo ship appear almost weightless. It climbs toward the crest, while another immense swell pushes relentlessly from behind. From the side, the wave stretches beyond sight, becoming a moving mountain across the ocean.
From above, countless swells surround the ship, revealing how enormous the ocean system has become.
Beneath the monster wave, powerful currents reveal that its energy reaches deep below. Far below the surface, the ocean still carries the storm's enormous energy through its depths. Rise toward the surface, carrying their final surge into the towering wave. Yet above this peaceful world, the immense ocean continues moving toward an unknown future.
The ship reaches the crest, surrounded by a sea transformed into an endless moving mountain range.
Chapter 2 ends here, but the ocean's greatest waves are only beginning to reveal themselves. The storm has created enormous waves, but one of them is about to become something extraordinary. Giant swells. One unusual wave is beginning to rise higher than everything around it.
Its height increases with every passing swell, slowly separating it from the surrounding ocean.
The difference becomes unmistakable as the central wave towers above its neighboring swells. Wave trains are converging, concentrating their energy into one increasingly powerful peak. The wave is no longer simply large, it is becoming an isolated giant. For the first time, the ship faces a wave whose scale completely changes the horizon.
From below, the wave appears less like water and more like a moving mountain.
From above, the abnormal wave stands alone, surrounded by smaller seas moving beneath it. It's become a giant of its own, and the ship is moving directly toward it. It draws closer, while the enormous wave continues rising beyond everything surrounding it. It grows steeper, revealing how quickly an ordinary swell can become extraordinarily dangerous. The cargo ship begins climbing, but the wave ahead still rises far beyond its bow. It climbs higher, disappearing beneath the immense shadow cast by the towering crest. From above, the ship looks almost insignificant beside this isolated wall of moving water. The trough, the crest seems impossibly high, towering far beyond the ship's highest point. Waves have become tiny, making the rogue wave appear even more immense. It continues upward, approaching the section where the enormous crest begins to curl forward. At the crest, gravity begins pulling the enormous mass of water forward and downward. Finally beginning to break, and an immense collapse is now unavoidable. The crest bends forward, gathering the final momentum before its violent collapse begins. Air spills forward, signaling that the giant wave has reached its breaking point. Then the crest collapses, releasing an immense mass of water in a single violent movement. For a moment, the ship disappears behind a curtain of foam, spray, and falling water. First impact passes, but the ocean around the ship remains violently disturbed. Below the surface, the collapsing wave drives powerful currents downward and outward through the ocean. The energy spreads through the water column, leaving turbulence long after the crest has vanished. As the camera rises, the violence above begins giving way to a turbulent but recovering surface. The giant has collapsed, but its remaining energy continues racing outward across the ocean. The rogue wave is gone, yet the ocean still carries its enormous memory across the surface. The rogue wave has collapsed, but its remaining energy continues spreading through the surrounding ocean. Around the ship, enormous swells still rise as the ocean struggles to release its energy. There's another deep trough, surrounded by waves that remain dangerously large. From above, the ocean reveals how far the rogue wave's energy has traveled. The vessel descends from another towering swell as the ocean slowly begins losing its fury. Beneath the surface, the fading turbulence still carries traces of the wave's enormous impact.
Currents are weakening, allowing the underwater world to slowly regain its natural rhythm. As the camera rises, the ocean above begins returning toward a more organized pattern.
The storm is weakening, but the ocean remains restless after what has just happened. The giant has vanished, but the ocean still holds another mystery somewhere beyond the horizon. The rogue wave has disappeared, yet the ocean remains powerful enough to threaten any vessel. Even after the giant disappears, enormous swells continue rising around the ship. There's another deep valley, where the remaining swells still hide the horizon. From above, the ocean shows the enormous distance traveled by the waves' released energy. Remaining waves are smaller now, but their immense scale still dominates the open ocean. Surface, the last traces of the rogue wave are slowly dissolving into the ocean. The underwater world begins returning to normal as the violent currents gradually lose their strength.
The surface is calming, while the last underwater currents continue fading into silence.
The ocean is settling, yet the distant horizon still conceals forces we cannot see. The storm is fading, but somewhere beyond this horizon, another giant may already be forming. The storm is fading, but the ocean still carries enormous energy across its restless surface. Even weakened, these waves remain powerful reminders of what the storm unleashed. Climbs once more, crossing waves still shaped by the storm's enormous power. Above, the waves reveal how the storm's energy continues traveling far beyond its center. Passing swell, the ocean slowly releases another fraction of its stored energy. Surface, the once violent currents are becoming calmer, allowing marine life to move freely again. The deep ocean becomes peaceful again, hiding the immense violence that occurred above. From below, the surface appears calm again, concealing the extraordinary forces that shaped it. The surface has calmed, yet the horizon remains wide enough to hide another dangerous surprise. The wave has vanished, but the ocean's next secret may already be gathering beyond sight. The storm is weakening, but the ocean remains restless beneath the clearing sky. Even after the storm, these enormous swells continue carrying energy across the open sea. The vessel climbs again, crossing the final powerful swells left behind by the storm. From above, the storm's remaining energy appears as long waves traveling toward distant horizons. With each passing wave, the ocean slowly returns toward its natural rhythm. Below the surface, marine life moves freely again as the violent currents finally weaken.
Deep ocean reveals no trace of the giant above, only the quiet movement of life.
As the camera rises, the surface looks peaceful, hiding everything the storm once unleashed.
The storm has nearly disappeared, leaving the ship alone with an immense and uncertain horizon. The ocean appears calm again, but its greatest mysteries remain somewhere beyond the horizon. The storm has weakened, yet enormous swells continue carrying its final energy across the ocean.
Waves are immense, but their violent energy is finally beginning to fade.
The ship climbs one final great swell, leaving the worst violence farther behind. From above, the ocean finally reveals a pattern returning toward its natural rhythm. This time, the horizon feels open again, with no giant wall approaching. Below the surface, the ocean has returned to a quiet world where small creatures move freely. The deep ocean gives no sign of the violence above, only a quiet return to balance. Yet above this peaceful world, the immense ocean continues moving toward an unknown future. The ship sails onward, unaware of what forces may already be gathering beyond the horizon. The ocean is calm again, but somewhere beyond sight, another chapter is already beginning. The ocean appears calm, but far beyond the horizon, another powerful storm is awakening. Far ahead, the surface begins changing as distant winds start transferring energy into the sea. Little swells are growing stronger, carrying the first signs of the approaching storm. Within minutes, the waves are larger, steeper, and far more tightly packed together. From above, the ocean reveals long wave trains carrying enormous energy toward the ships. The ship climbs higher as the growing storm begins reshaping the entire ocean around it. The waves now rise like moving hills, while the storm darkens everything beyond them. One wave begins rising above the others, becoming strangely larger with every passing moment. Then one wave rises far beyond the rest, revealing the terrifying shape of what comes next. An unusual wave continues growing, rising higher with every new swell beneath its enormous body. Its steepening face reveals just how rapidly the ocean is concentrating energy into one wave.
The ship climbs toward the giant, while the surrounding waves seem to disappear below.
From above, the wave stands apart, fed by several powerful swells converging beneath it. The wave now towers over the vessel, turning the ocean around it into a deep valley. From the trough, the crest appears impossibly high, almost touching the storm-darkened sky. Every meter upward brings the ship closer to the most dangerous part of the wave. The surrounding ocean looks strangely small, making the giant wave appear even more immense. At the top, the water begins curling forward as gravity prepares to take control. The crest begins folding forward, and the ocean seems ready to unleash its full force. The crest folds farther forward, gathering enormous weight before the final collapse begins. First water spills forward, signaling that the giant has reached its breaking point. Then the enormous crest collapses, releasing its stored energy in one violent movement. For several seconds, the ship vanishes behind a curtain of foam and falling water. The first impact passes, but violent turbulence continues racing outward around the surviving vessel. Below the surface, the collapse drives powerful currents downward and outward through the ocean. The released energy spreads outward, leaving turbulence long after the massive crest disappears. As the camera rises, the violent energy above slowly spreads across a much wider ocean. The giant has collapsed, yet its remaining energy continues racing outward across the ocean. The rogue wave is gone, but the ocean still carries its enormous memory across the surface. The rogue wave has collapsed, but its remaining energy continues spreading through the surrounding ocean. Around the ship, enormous swells still rise as the ocean struggles to release its energy. The ship enters another deep trough, surrounded by waves that remain dangerously large. From above, the ocean reveals how far the rogue wave's energy has traveled. The vessel descends from another towering swell as the ocean slowly begins losing its fury. Beneath the surface, fading turbulence still carries traces of the wave's enormous impact. The currents are weakening, allowing the underwater world to slowly regain its natural rhythm. As the camera rises, the ocean above begins returning toward a more organized pattern. The storm is weakening, but the ocean remains restless after what has just happened. The giant has vanished, but the ocean still holds another mystery somewhere beyond the horizon. The rogue wave has vanished, but enormous swells still carry its remaining energy across the sea. Around the vessel, powerful swells remain, reminding us that ocean energy does not disappear instantly. The ship enters another trough, where the remaining waves still rise like moving walls. From above, the ocean reveals how far the wave's energy has traveled since its collapse. With each passing swell, the ocean slowly releases another fraction of its stored energy. Beneath the surface, the violent currents are weakening, and marine life begins moving freely again. The deep ocean becomes peaceful again, hiding the extraordinary violence that occurred above. As the camera rises, the surface appears calm, concealing everything the storm unleashed. The storm is fading, leaving the ships surrounded by an ocean, slowly returning to balance. The ocean is calming again, but its next great wave may already be forming. The storm is fading, yet the ocean still carries enormous energy across its restless surface. Even weakened, these waves remain powerful reminders of what the storm unleashed. The ship climbs once more, crossing waves still shaped by the storm's enormous power. From above, the remaining waves reveal how far the storm's energy continues traveling. With every passing swell, the ocean slowly releases another fraction of its stored energy. Below the surface, the once violent currents are becoming calmer, allowing marine life to move freely again. The deep ocean reveals no sign of the violence above, only a quiet return to balance. Yet above this peaceful world, the immense ocean continues moving toward an unknown future. The ship sails onward, unaware of what forces may already be gathering beyond the horizon.
The ocean appears calm again, but its greatest mysteries remain somewhere beyond the horizon.
The storm is weakening, but enormous swells still carry its fading energy across the ocean. The remaining waves are smaller now, yet their rhythm still reveals the storm's immense power. The vessel rises and falls again, crossing the final powerful swells left behind. From above, the ocean slowly transforms from chaotic waves into long, orderly patterns. With every passing minute, the ocean becomes smoother, quieter, and more predictable. Below the surface, marine life continues its quiet routine as the turbulence finally disappears. The deep ocean hides the storm's memory, leaving only gentle currents and drifting life.
As the camera rises, the boundary between the peaceful depths and restless surface begins disappearing.
The storm has almost vanished, leaving the ships beneath a strangely peaceful sky.
The ocean is calm again, but something beyond the horizon may soon disturb its silence.
The storm has passed, leaving behind only gentle swells and an ocean slowly returning to balance. For now, the ocean appears peaceful, as though nothing extraordinary ever happened here. From above, the scars of the storm are already fading across the immense blue surface.
Deep below, marine life continues moving through currents that have finally regained their natural rhythm.
The deeper ocean keeps its secrets, hiding the immense forces that shaped the surface above. Yet beneath this calm surface, enormous amounts of energy continue traveling through the ocean. What looks peaceful from above can still conceal powerful movements far beneath the surface. The ocean has recovered, but its silence should never be mistaken for weakness. One storm has ended, but the ocean's endless cycle of creation is already continuing. The sea is calm again, but somewhere beyond sight, another story is beginning. The ocean appears calm, but somewhere beyond sight, another powerful wave is already forming. Far ahead, long swells begin gathering energy as distant winds strengthen across the sea. The full surface changes first, revealing the earliest signs of another growing disturbance. Each new swell carries more energy, slowly transforming the ocean into a restless, moving landscape.
From above, several wave systems appear to be moving toward one another.
As these swells converge, their combined energy begins producing waves much larger than before. The new wave rises higher, fed by energy arriving from several directions at once. One central swell begins standing above the others, absorbing energy from the surrounding wave field. The wave now rises dramatically, while the surrounding ocean appears strangely small. Then the central wave rises beyond expectation, revealing the terrifying scale of what comes next. The central wave continues rising as more energy converges beneath its enormous moving body. Its steep face reveals a dangerous concentration of energy, unlike the surrounding waves. The ship climbs higher, moving toward the steepest section of the growing wave. From above, several wave systems are clearly feeding energy into one enormous rising peak. The crest grows sharper as the converging swells force more water upward. From the trough, the crest appears impossibly high above the tiny vessel below. Every second brings the ship closer to the unstable crest, where gravity gains control. The central peak now dominates the ocean, becoming larger with every approaching swell. At the top, the water begins curling forward as the giant approaches its breaking point. Crest finally curls forward, holding immense energy the moments before the ocean unleashes it. The crest folds farther forward, gathering enormous weight before gravity finally takes control. First water spills forward, signaling that the giant has reached its breaking point. Then the enormous crest collapses, releasing its concentrated energy in one violent movement. For several seconds, the ship disappears behind a curtain of foam and falling water. The first impact passes, but violent turbulence continues racing outward around the surviving vessel. Below the surface, the collapse drives powerful currents downward and outward through the ocean. The released energy spreads outward, leaving turbulence long after the enormous crest disappears. As the camera rises, the violent energy above slowly spreads across a much wider ocean. The giant has collapsed, yet its remaining energy continues racing outward across the ocean. The giant is gone, but the ocean still carries its enormous memory across every remaining swell. The giant wave has collapsed, but enormous swells still carry its energy across the sea. Around the vessel, powerful swells remain, showing how slowly ocean energy can finally disappear. The ship enters another deep trough, surrounded by waves still powerful enough to conceal the horizon. From above, the ocean reveals how far the giant wave's energy has traveled. With each passing swell, the ocean slowly releases another fraction of its stored energy. Beneath the surface, fading turbulence still carries traces of the wave's enormous impact. The deeper ocean becomes calmer, hiding the violence that unfolded above only moments earlier. As the camera rises, the surface begins revealing a calmer ocean after the extraordinary disturbance. The storm is fading, but the ocean remains restless after releasing such immense energy. The giant has vanished, but the ocean still remembers through every wave moving beyond the horizon. The giant wave has collapsed, yet its remaining energy continues spreading across the surrounding ocean. Around the vessel, powerful swells remain, revealing how slowly the ocean releases stored energy. The ship enters another deep trough, surrounded by waves still large enough to hide the horizon. From above, the ocean reveals how far the giant wave's energy has traveled. With each passing swell, the ocean slowly releases another fraction of its enormous energy. Beneath the surface, fading turbulence still carries traces of the wave's enormous impact. The deeper ocean becomes calmer, hiding the violence that unfolded above only moments earlier.
As the camera rises, the surface begins revealing a calmer ocean after the extraordinary disturbance.
The storm is fading, but the ocean remains restless after releasing such immense energy.
The giant has vanished, but the ocean still remembers through every wave beyond the distant horizon.
The storm is fading, but enormous swells still carry its remaining energy across the sea. Each remaining swell reveals how slowly the ocean releases energy after extreme waves. The vessel rises again, crossing waves that still remember the storm's enormous force. But from above, the remaining waves form long patterns, spreading energy toward the distant horizon. With every passing minute, the ocean becomes smoother as its stored energy dissipates. Beneath the surface, fading currents still transport energy through the upper ocean layers. Far below, marine life moves calmly, while the last traces of turbulence slowly disappear. As the camera rises, the boundary between the peaceful depths and surface gradually disappears. The surface is calming, yet deeper currents continue carrying energy far beyond the fading storm. Far beneath the waves, invisible currents continue transporting the storm's remaining energy. These hidden layers move independently, creating a vast underwater network of traveling energy. Even after the surface settles, the ocean beneath remains active, moving energy across enormous distances. The deeper we look, the larger the hidden circulation beneath the ocean becomes. Energy moves downward, crossing invisible boundaries between the warm surface and colder depths. Even near the seafloor, distant surface disturbances can influence currents moving through the darkness. From the depths, the surface seems distant, yet both worlds remain connected by moving water. As these currents merge, energy slowly returns toward the upper ocean and distant waves. What seemed like the end was only a transition, as the ocean prepares another movement. Beneath this calm surface, hidden currents continue carrying energy toward distant parts of the ocean. The ocean's hidden circulation continues long after the surface disturbance has disappeared. Some currents travel for immense distances, carrying traces of energy far beyond the original storm. Part of this energy sinks deeper, crossing invisible boundaries within the enormous water column. Even near the seafloor, the ocean remains connected to events occurring far above.
Slowly, deep currents begin returning energy toward the upper layers of the ocean.
At the surface, those hidden movements slowly reshape the waves we can finally see. The ocean has absorbed the disturbance, transforming its violent energy into countless smaller movements. The wave is gone, yet its energy continues traveling, reminding us that the ocean never truly rests. The ocean seems calm again, but beneath its surface, another disturbance is gathering. Far beyond the ship, long swells begin gathering energy from distant winds across the open sea. The full surface changes first, revealing the earliest signs of another powerful ocean disturbance. Each approaching swell carries more energy, slowly transforming the ocean into a restless landscape. From above, several wave systems appear to be moving toward one another. As these swells converge, their combined energy begins producing waves much larger than before. A new wave rises higher, fed by energy arriving from several directions at once. The central swell begins standing above the others, absorbing energy from the surrounding wave field. The central wave rises dramatically, while the surrounding ocean suddenly appears strangely small. Then the central wave rises beyond expectation, revealing the terrifying scale of what comes next. The central wave continues rising as more energy converges beneath its enormous moving body. Its steep face reveals a dangerous concentration of energy, unlike the surrounding waves. The ship climbs higher, moving toward the steepest section of the growing wave. But from above, several wave systems are clearly feeding energy into one enormous rising peak. The crest grows sharper as the converging swells force more water upward. From the trough, the crest appears impossibly high above the tiny vessel below. Every second brings the ship closer to the unstable crest, where gravity gains control. The central peak now dominates the ocean, becoming larger with every approaching swell. At the top, the water begins curling forward as the giant approaches its breaking point. Crest folds farther forward, gathering enormous weight before gravity finally takes control. First water spills forward, signaling that the giant has reached its breaking point. Then the enormous crest collapses, releasing its concentrated energy in one violent movement. For several seconds, the ship disappears behind a curtain of foam and falling water. The first impact passes, but violent turbulence continues racing outward around the surviving vessel.
Below the surface, the collapse drives powerful currents downward and outward through the ocean.
The released energy spreads outward, leaving turbulence long after the enormous crest disappears. As the camera rises, the violent energy above slowly spreads across a much wider ocean. The giant has collapsed, yet its remaining energy continues racing outward across the ocean. The giant is gone, but the ocean still carries its enormous memory across every remaining swell. The giant wave has collapsed, yet enormous swells still carry its remaining energy across the sea. The vessel, powerful swells remains, revealing how slowly the ocean releases stored energy. The ship enters another deep trough, surrounded by waves still large enough to hide the horizon. From above, the ocean reveals how far the giant wave's energy has traveled. With each passing swell, the ocean slowly releases another fraction of its stored energy. Beneath the surface, fading turbulence still carries traces of the wave's enormous impact. The deeper ocean becomes calmer, hiding the violence that unfolded above only moments earlier. As the camera rises, the surface begins revealing a calmer ocean after the extraordinary disturbance. The storm is fading, but the ocean remains restless after releasing such immense energy. The giant has vanished, but the ocean still remembers through every wave beyond the distant horizon. The giant wave has collapsed, yet its remaining energy continues spreading across the surrounding ocean. Around the vessel, powerful swells remain, revealing how slowly the ocean releases stored energy. The ship enters another deep trough, surrounded by waves still powerful enough to conceal the horizon.
From above, the ocean reveals how far the giant wave's energy has traveled.
With each passing swell, the ocean slowly releases another fraction of its enormous energy.
Beneath the surface, fading turbulence still carries traces of the wave's enormous impact.
The deeper ocean becomes calmer, hiding the violence that unfolded above only moments earlier. As the camera rises, the surface begins revealing a calmer ocean after the extraordinary disturbance. The storm is fading, but the ocean remains restless after releasing such immense energy. The giant has vanished, but the ocean still remembers through every wave beyond the distant horizon. The storm is fading, but enormous swells still carry its remaining energy across the sea. The remaining swell reveals how slowly the ocean releases energy after extreme waves. The vessel rises again, crossing waves that still remember the storm's enormous force. Above, the remaining waves form long patterns, spreading energy toward the distant horizon. With every passing minute, the ocean becomes smoother as its stored energy dissipates.
Beneath the surface, fading currents still transport energy through the upper ocean layers.
Far below, marine life moves calmly while the last traces of turbulence slowly disappear. As the camera rises, the boundary between the peaceful depths and surface gradually disappears. The ship continues onward as the ocean slowly returns toward its natural rhythm. The ocean appears peaceful again, but its hidden energy continues traveling beyond our sight. The surface is calming, yet deeper currents continue carrying energy far beyond the fading storm. Far beneath the waves, invisible currents continue transporting the storm's remaining energy. These hidden layers move independently, creating a vast underwater network of traveling energy. Even after the surface settles, the ocean beneath remains active, moving energy across enormous distances.
The deeper we look, the larger the hidden circulation beneath the ocean becomes.
Some energy moves downward, crossing invisible boundaries between the warm surface and colder depths. Even near the seafloor, distant surface disturbances can influence currents moving through the darkness. From the depths, the surface seems distant, yet both worlds remain connected by moving water. As these currents merge, energy slowly returns toward the upper ocean and distant waves. What seemed like the end was only a transition, as the ocean prepares another movement. The ocean appears peaceful again, but beneath it, enormous currents continue carrying energy onward. The invisible currents now carry the disturbance farther than any wave on the surface could travel. What began at the surface has now become part of a much larger ocean circulation.
Part of this energy sinks deeper, where colder water slowly carries it across the ocean.
Even here, far below sunlight, the ocean continues redistributing energy through invisible pathways. Eventually, some of that hidden energy begins returning toward the surface once again. At the surface, that returning energy becomes another quiet pattern of movement. From above, countless movements connect across the ocean, forming one enormous living system.
The ocean has absorbed the disturbance, transformed its energy, and carried its memory onward. And somewhere beyond our sight, the ocean is already preparing its next great story.